Memory stealers. Are we really sure that what we remember are actually our own memories, or that they are accurate and can be trusted? My articles Memory and Hard Copy go into a couple of angles on memory, and why it might serve a purpose to mess with, confuse, or destabilise it for people, so they don't know what is true or not. Dark City. Yes, that film again. But part of the main aspect of it came to mind again when thinking about this. The fact they have stolen the people from somewhere and then wiped their memories, instead creating new ones for them and injecting them directly into the brain. Upon awakening from an enforced sleep, they are a new person and have no recollection of anything previous. Alzheimer's, a disease which affects memory, thinking, behaviour and social skills. Hippocampus, the part of the brain that is responsible for memory, behaviour and emotion. It seems the disease is a cruel twist of nature, to rob you of your memories and emotions towards the end, making life confusing, difficult and a strain on the brain, and on those around the person. But is it entirely natural? Is it a consequence of something that ends up building up in the brain, and goes somewhat unnoticed for the longest time? Only put down to age, or an unfortunate set of genes, or whatever they come up with to try and ease the burden. Because it would be so much worse if you knew you could have prevented it, or actually made it better once discovered. And this is where I theorise about our memories being messed with on purpose. Because if we don't remember facts, dates, personal history, and so on, then how can we pass it down? A part of the generational ancestral line gets broken, and can be replaced or rewritten, in a much smaller time frame, with less removals, I shall call them. And perhaps we will start to see more of it among younger age groups. I had thoughts towards it after all those nasal swabs were encouraged, and possibly still are in some places. Wondering if that in itself was a quicker way to damage or interfere with the hippocampus early on, no longer content to wait decades for a build-up of toxins or pollutants, wanting a much faster result for purpose. And if those people have suffered damage in any way to that area, then as mentioned above, memories, emotions and behaviour can and would all be affected. It could go some way to explain some of the personality changes people have mentioned along the way, observed in others. Of course, it could also just be a consequence of all the extra stress, pressure and unknowns being thrown at people on an almost constant basis by way of future threats, so there is a lot to contend with mentally. But if you aren't functioning properly within that, then it will create an even more difficult arena to find normality. I can't help thinking though, that normality is no longer on the cards, and never was, just an illusion of it that is no longer needed. And it might sound far-fetched to think that they can inject actual memories into people, or extract them. But when I give it thought, there are other representations of that kind of thing. Dumbledore in the Harry Potter films. In one of them he uses his wand to extract a memory and save it for later, to be viewed in one of their magical devices. Dark Crystal. The crystal is used to extract the life force and memories of their slaves, leaving them as numb zombie-type creatures. Batman Forever. The Riddler and his invention to harvest the thoughts and mental energy from people while they watch television. Like I said, it might sound far-fetched on the face of it, and the mechanics of the ideas put forward in the movies somewhat elaborate or fantastical. And just as they may be able to remove certain things, there is no saying that they can't put them in there either. The rise in reports of intrusive thoughts springs to mind here. But who knows what they can achieve through signals, implants, drugs and frequencies, as we don't even know ourselves how our brains work. So how can we say for sure that they haven't been infiltrated? As I have said before, be mindful of your thoughts, and sometimes it might be just a good idea to question whether those thoughts are really your own.